course, this is where we discuss and debate a wide range of topics from music, arts, cultural observations, alternative understandings, in the hopes of an apathetic walkaway.
Yes.
Words of apathy.
Today's topic is WERS 88 at night, 88.9 at night, which is a local radio station at Emerson College in Boston. Back in the day, they had a hip hop show from weeknights from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11, and it's since fell to the wayside. It's gone. And we're just here to almost just reminisce about it and let you know there's nothing like it.
Yeah. So I guess where I wanted to start from is that, and I don't want to sound too old school hip hop head or anything, but I remember distinctly WERS was one of those stations when I was, well, even 94.5, even more so, but WERS, at least with the classic true to what I felt like hip hop was when I was coming of age. It was one of those stations, man, that you could sit to and just listen straight through. It gave you just a wide range of music. A lot of cats I didn't know, local cats that I didn't know,
right? Yeah.
Actually, to tell you the truth. But then it still hit you with some Gangstar, hit you with some Nas. In my opinion, I feel like that was one of the first sources of what do you call it? What's the hip hop, the conscious rap that I was listening to?
Socially conscious.
Yeah, that's where I got a lot of Common, But they still threw in Biggie, and then they went to the West Coast in regards to Far Side, and you name a few. Probably more.
It was like that. They had that jazzy feel of the early '90s that necessarily wasn't like chart. They were chart topping, but it wasn't like things that they play all the time, like Diggable Planets. I'm Cool Like That, Far Side, Souls of Mischief, shit like that. Yeah, it was just like, they played 93 to Infinity a lot over there, but it was like that subgenre of hip hop mixed with underground Boston hip hop artists that you said we wouldn't have known about unless we listened to ERS. Dre Robinson, EDO.G, who's like the king of Boston rap. You even had Terminology from Lawrence. The list goes on. It was awesome because you mentioned the socially conscious shit. I remember the song you sent me a couple years ago by Rascas. What was it called? The Truth?
I think it was called The Truth or The Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was talking about the white race. And I remember they played that on ERS, WERS, and they were they had to give a full disclosure. And this shit was before outrage culture and the internet and PC culture and shit like that. That you know what's funny about Rascas?
Someone was still signing them checks.
You know what's funny about Rascas with that song? I don't think anyone's done more songs with white rappers than Rascas.
I know, you were telling me that.
He's like, yeah.
So, basically, going back to one thing, making the comparison, obviously, we live in a world of today. The thing that got me real nostalgic about WERS is that it was one of those stations where obviously it didn't just cater to the music that I listened to because it was just a radio station. In Boston, there were no hip hop, just straight hip hop radio stations. We had 94.5. And I think one other pirate radio station that was in and out. But
it was in and out, yeah.
Yeah, but WERS, here's the thing that made it different from nowadays. What we can listen to, I can jump on my Pandora, I can jump on my Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, and get the music that I want specifically. Or just like Pandora or Spotify, it'll give it to me around that genre of type of music at any point in time. I feel like it almost kind of spoils me to the fact WERS, I knew I was getting good music. It might not be my favorite music, might not be music I ever heard of, but just the fact that it made the playlist that night, it was good. But I had to also make sure that I turned my radio on from 8 to 10. If I was a little late, whatever, but It wasn't on demand. It wasn't right in my face 24/7.
Sure.
And we just don't have that nowadays. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. You move on in life, especially with technology, to make things easier and better for you. But I think it took away something. That's why I feel nostalgic about it. It took away something that was just pure, just innocent, and just like you didn't know. Now it's like, man, come on, man. If I want to listen to Biggie, I put on my Pandora Biggie, even though every now and then motherfuckers will play Tupac and whatnot. Like, I just feel like it's almost like a disrespect. Don't play Tupac when I have you on my Biggie radio station. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's a part of Biggie's story was Pac, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't the nice part.
It wasn't the nice part, but it was
a part.
Pac was in his content.
Very big part.
He was in Pac's. Pac was in his content. He was in Pac's content. So
yeah,
just
but
from
if I put on a Biggie radio
sure.
station, I want to hear Craig Mack, Wu-Tang.
So you want some East Coast bad boy?
Biggie.
Yeah.
Biggie. They'll throw like Dre Day with Snoop in there.
I think they go. I think the streaming services will go either to one extreme or another. They'll go, okay, let's just blanket it. You want to hear Biggie, so you want to hear hip hop music from 92 to like 95 of, they'll play Wu-Tang, Biggie, West Coast. It's not like, okay, you want to hear New York lyricist kind of shit. Like, they don't get that specific, or they do. It'll be like, I remember Pandora years ago, you'd click on, why is this song being played in the playlist? And it was like, well, you like percussion. So like, what? So it was just like really just whack instances of,
I felt it was just random. I mean, there was...
I'm over dramatizing it a little bit.
Yeah. There's degrees of separation to the music, but there are connections.
Yeah.
I just feel like a Tupac to Biggie song, that's more degrees of separation than a Biggie to like a Mobb Deep song. Because it stays within that genre of Biggie. When I think of Biggie, I think of Tupac, but I think of Tupac in regards to their beef. Tupac was West Coast rap, totally different sound. Biggie, if I put Biggie on, I want the Biggie sound.
For sure.
But we're steering away from WERS.
So back to ERS. The big thing with ERS, we already covered that it played local hip hop artists, which there still isn't really a safe place for Boston rap, and they had that. I mean, Jammin' 94.5. Yeah, I had my feelings about it. It being, it was really, it didn't market to a hip hop audience. The DJs didn't seem to know about hip hop.
No, top 40s.
It was just kind of, they had the launch pad at night where they would play local artists and stuff like that and have battles on like Sunday nights.
Yeah.
But like ERS definitely was like, they did zone in on that. They played good rap. They just, they had guests that came through like Master P and they had like No Limit, Big Timers, which was Cash Money. But I don't think they even if they had those guests, they didn't play it. They even had a debate when Wayne became a lyricist. Do we play him? Because now he is a lyricist. He has content that's underground that you're not going to get mainstream. Yeah. However, that content isn't really what we push.
That conversation itself for ERS for the cats in regards to the show to bring it up, to even have that conversation like, damn, can we play Lil Wayne now because he's got bars?
That's fucking huge.
It just lets you realize like the level that this radio station was on, and why we revere it even so much more is because there was nothing in regards to Boston, in regards to this type of music.
Exactly.
So WERS, I gotta say, you're missed, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would be able to survive in this type of environment. You can almost kind of cater to WERS and just be like if I want to listen to, if I want to like think about damn WERS, they had some good songs. You know what I'll put in? I'll push in. Nowadays, I won't push in the earlier days of Pandora. Throw in Kanye. used to give me a certain type of music. I throw in Common.
Yeah, yeah.
Nowadays, you throw in Kanye, you just get all ridiculousness.
You get shit you'll hear on the radio.
Yeah.
The other thing with what was I gonna say with the ERS? The other thing with that is it wouldn't. I don't think it would survive at all. It wouldn't stand a fucking chance because they were always looking for sponsoring and stuff like that because it was like an independent thing.
Yeah, I do remember.
You know,
yeah, the fundraisers.
they had the fundraisers a lot. So I mean, this day and age, someone tuning in, I don't think it would. But I mean, to play devil's advocate to your point of like Pandora curating or not curating to your taste. WERS kind of did both. They were like, okay, here's some local hip hop. Here is some classic hip hop. They even may have played the Message by Grandmaster Flash and shit like that. Curtis Blow. They may have even been so bold to play old school like that. So they were almost like they were expanding out. But I think the one thing was this is lesser known, more revered shit, and it's lyrical. But yeah, they're missed, man. There's nothing like that right now, and it's more of a hip hop's more of an industry than ever now too.
And I think we do a disfavor to ourselves by having all these platforms that just really cater to what we like to listen to, because coming of age, what exposed me to certain things that I thought was ill was stuff that I would have never listened to in the first place. You know, but I mean nowadays we all got something that we all listen to. We all got our own playlist. You know, we can put 1 million songs on one phone.
Yeah, right.
And keep it moving.
But this is a paradox of social media. We can curate our own news and stuff like that, but at the same time,
great point.
But at the same time, if we're really willing, the world is at our fingertips. We can kind of figure out how to do anything. So it's very paradoxical, from social media news to the way we get our music and shit like that.
Well, I think it also speaks on the mind, the intelligence, and the willing to explore. Because let's say I have the world in the palm of my hand, but I still can't get out of my own neighborhood. Yeah. What does that say?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a multi-layered conversation.
This is why YouTube, as much as I love YouTube, it's a base for like a lot of nigga shit, world star hip hop, and don't get me wrong, I find that to be one of the most entertaining sites in the world. But in my opinion, it just contributes to the niggatry of the world. And when I say niggatry, I'm not talking about black folk. Just on World Star, that's all you see.
Right, yeah.
But that's for another topic. We might even need to cut that out at the end of the clip, actually.
Oh, whatever you want. So,
that's what I like to hear from a white man.
Yeah. Notice they didn't add anything at the end besides, yeah, right, and the stroke of my beard. So, the one thing I wonder about ERS, if it would do any service whatsoever to now that we have Baya, who I did a song review on, Boston artist, signed with Pharrell, got a lot of Latin following to her. Joyner, everybody knows Joyner at this point. Would it help or would it not?
I think it wouldn't
have been nice.
It wouldn't help in regards to like say Joyner Lucas, man, dude. He touched YouTube in regards to his songs.
Yeah,
you catapult past Boston.
Sure.
But I think it's still important in regards to your fan base. Once your Boston people know of you, you don't lose them. You know, so I think unfortunately, they wouldn't put as much. They wouldn't do as much of an impact as they would nowadays for a young up and coming Boston rapper or somebody who's talented. But I still think there's a niche for them, especially for the audience in Boston that's listening, that's looking for it. I didn't know of a lot of local rappers. EDO.G. I didn't know about EDO.G until they put him on WERS, and I did my own research. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's an OG from fucking Boston.
He just put out an album with Pete Rock.
Yeah. I can't say I listened to it, but I know he put out an album with Pete Rock because once anybody puts out an album with Pete Rock doing something on it, in regards to old hip hop heads, Pete Rock's one of the most well respected. He couldn't rhyme to save his life, except for that one rhyme that he did with "Down with the Kings" with Run DMC. He still was a whack rhyme, but he held it.
Was that Pete Rock?
That was Pete Rock at the end. Yeah. I don't know if that was his beat, but he rhymed in that.
I'm gonna check that out.
Down with the king.
I don't want to doubt you, but
you don't need to doubt me. I know that's
all
Pete
right,
Rock.
all right,
that was
all right.
there.
Oh, you were there.
I was in the video.
Yeah. Oh, that was you. But yeah, I didn't think that
I was the guy with the hoodie and the Tim's
Yeah,
on.
there was like 50, yeah.
With the Carhartt jacket.
I didn't think that last thought through of like them ERS helping the new cats, the local artists out that have traction, but there was the idea was there. Local cats this day and age, 19 ERS, yeah.
So let me ask you this: what's the apathetic takeaway out of this one? I'll ask you first. I know what mine is.
The apathetic takeaway. I miss ERS, but as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go fucking stream some shit on Spotify.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, I was. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, you know what? You're a dinosaur. You're beautiful for what you were, but I'm just looking at your skeleton and wondering how great you were back then. But now, it's like, yeah, man. I'm going to my Pandora. See, I'm cheap. I won't pay for the extra. I won't pay the extra $1 to go listen to specific things. I still don't mind. Like, I'll take the free Pandora. Give me the commercials. That's fine. I need time to twiddle my thumbs between the next song.
Oh yeah.
But I just take it in. I think that's the only way I keep a whisper of ERS where, like, I'm not gonna pay for it and let the random thing come in. And if it's fucking Tupac on my Biggie station, I got a couple of skips I can use.
Yeah, you feel a certain type of way about that.
Damn. I'm telling you, I take it emotionally.
Yeah.
Just like the same way I'll take emotionally, like, I don't want to hear too much Nas on my Jay-Z station. Not to say that they're still beefing or anything like that, but it's Jay-Z. Give me State Property. Give me
Rockefeller.
something. Don't give me Nas. And then, like, throughout the day, once they're all done with all the options they can give me, all of a sudden, you're fucking throwing, what's this, 8 Ball and MJG. This is a fucking Jay-Z station.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh, shit.
Those police lights?
Yeah, I was really distracted. I couldn't tell if it was the light of the microphone or if that's like police
no,
lights
those are
out
police
there.
lights. So, Lords of Apathy. We got to talk to the man. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well, Sean's going to talk to him.
No, we're gonna